paying homage to all of the past versions of me and all that she did to bring me to today is really, it's kind of like honoring our ancestors, but in a more present and like direct way, because it's about honoring yourself. You have done amazing, amazing things. Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I have two quick caveats before we dive into today. First of all, I am not feeling super well. I am on day 2 of recovering from something. My body has been hard at work restoring my health for the last 48 hours. I don't say that I'm sick or that I'm like not feeling well. I just very much believe that like my body is strong as fuck and she can handle anything so long as I give her the resources that she needs. In most cases, it's rest, big fucking deal on rest, and just like whatever nourishment that my body asks for. So if my energy sounds a little flat today, if I sound a little tired, it's because I'm still in recovery mode. The second thing is I am cuddled onto my sofa in the living room, which might mean it sounds a little echoey in here. Hopefully the microphone is doing a great job of canceling that out, but it's possible that it sounds a little more hollow on today's podcast. I have a couple of notes. I'm going to follow along with them. I'm also going to do my very like utmost best to keep some mental clarity going. I want to address something right off the top because if I were you listening to me, I'd be going, why don't you record this on a day that you're feeling better, Amy? Which is a super valid question and a really valid point. And like 99% of the time, I 100% do. But today's episode just is like flowing through me. And I wanted to honor that energy and honor the presence of it, which is why I'm sitting here under my blankie with my laptop on my lap. It's officially being my laptop computer today and my microphone in my hand. Today is a juicy episode. I am going to just dive right into it, okay? Today we're going to be talking about knowledge without pressure, and I am going to kick off the episode with something that I'm super fucking excited to share. I have been thinking about this for months. I've sort of alluded to it a couple of times, I think, in the last few episodes. But today is the day that I'm officially announcing for the first time that I am launching a rebrand on my transformational money program. I have called it Building Vampires for a little over a year. And in just a few weeks, it's going to be launching for the first time ever under her brand new title, Wealthy as Fuck. I am super excited about this. I know you might say, like, what's in a name? I could go on and on about what's in a name. What I want to have you start thinking about, what we're going to be talking about in the next 3 episodes is money, okay? And I want you to begin playing with what life would feel like for you when you feel wealthy as fuck, okay? Today we're going to be talking about knowledge without pressure. And given the capacity of my brain and My current state of energy, I suspect we're going to be moving through this very quickly. And my intent is for the absolute highest good and like the best things to come through for you today. All right. So let's start by talking about this quote that I heard this in a TV show. I immediately stopped and like wrote it on the mirror in my bedroom. I absolutely love this so much. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "There is no knowledge without power." So I've got 3 points for you today. The first is that knowledge is power. It's something that I'm sure that you've heard before. I guarantee that this is probably not the first time that you've heard this. It might be the first time that you're going to hear about this in this particular way. But knowledge itself, simply having knowledge, is a tremendous amount of power. If you don't believe me, go check out any country in the world where they don't let their children, particularly with their women, go to school. Why? Because very often they understand that knowledge itself is power. What I want you to keep in mind is that this is a really simple shift that can make an enormous difference. When we understand that simply by increasing our knowledge, we increase the power available for us, that's a massive shift. In most first world countries, and I don't want to say Western because there's first world countries, of course, all over the world. In most first world countries, access to knowledge is actually fairly readily available. Like, I mean, if we even just consider that, I just heard a scream in the neighborhood. If we even just consider the fact that there's like libraries just about anywhere, it doesn't cost anything to become like to get a library card. You have access to thousands of dollars of like books and resources in the library. That's all knowledge. That is power available for you at your fingertips. Platforms like YouTube is all about knowledge, right? It's about sharing knowledge. I'm not going to like weigh in on whether or not that knowledge is helpful or worthwhile or whatever. Just know that I apologize if I seem a little distracted. It's not a scream. It's like a whistle in my neighborhood. I've never heard it before. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, everything's going to be fine. Um, where was my train of thought? The whistle is not helping us today. Okay. So thinking about libraries and like all of the knowledge that exists in the library, that's readily available for you. Because knowledge is so readily available, I think that we almost dismiss it. We almost make it be like, well, whatever, unless I don't have this university degree or master's levels degree or whatever in this particular subject, and therefore I'm not that knowledgeable about it. All I want to finish saying on this point is just any knowledge, all knowledge is power in your fingertips. And it's one of the biggest things that I focus on inside the Wealthy as Fuck program is to increase your knowledge, because I know that knowledge is literally putting power back into your hands. Okay? It is, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Ooh. We're gonna roll with this. I should also add into this. Here's in the back end of like Life with Amy this week. Not only is my body like dealing with whatever has been going around, literally the same day that started is also the day that my period started. So I kind of feel like my bod is fighting on a few different fronts, and I'm like, girl, I got you. If my only job is to sit on the couch, I will sit on the couch. But it's definitely like putting me a little on my back foot. Okay. The second point for today. Wealthy as Fuck, my transformational money program, which is so fucking amazing. Wealthy as Fuck is all about knowledge without pressure. This one is really big, especially when it comes to money, and extra especially when it comes to women. You are not here to get dumped on with all the things you should do with your money, okay? I don't ever talk about the B word inside the Wealthy as Fuck program. It's actually one of my favorite things when people are like, oh, so like, do you talk about like budgets and stuff? I'm like, no, because you can find information about budgets anywhere. And oh, by the way, if a budget alone was all it took to shift our relationship with money, every single fucking human on the planet would be rich as fuck. Okay? So let's just talk about that. Hey, babe, I had to just quickly pop into this podcast episode and let you know that this episode is sponsored by my transformational money program. You may have heard me talk about it before, but I wanted to let you know that the waitlist is now open and the next enrollment period, there will only be 2 this year. So you will only have 2 chances to get your buns into this absolutely amazing experience where we completely revolutionize your experience with money, your knowledge with money, and I show you how you can easily shift over time to create this absolutely amazing, wealthy AF life and reality with money. The doors are opening March 7th, so mark your calendars. But in the meantime, to make sure that you don't miss a moment of it, get your buns on the waitlist by going to amyvanmeal.com/money. So we don't talk about the B word inside the program. And the entire program can be taken at your leisure because you have lifetime access when you sign up. Knowledge without pressure is really key. I'm going to share a story in a minute about how that changed my relationship with money and is like continuing to change it literally into today. But the big thing is when we when we put importance, when we put pressure on something, whether it's like increasing our knowledge, increasing our wealth, getting healthy, like whatever that looks like, when we put pressure on it, it actually causes our subconscious mind to dump into survival mode. It short circuits our prefrontal cortex and our conscious mind and our creative thinking. It gets in the way of all of the I'll call it the main creative area of our brain in order to, well, create, for lack of a better word, but to like move forward on things. Okay. When I sat down to write the Wealthy as Fuck program, I wanted to make sure that I was sharing knowledge in a way that didn't increase pressure on our lives. Now, listen, you can do you if you decide that you need all the pressure in the world to like figure something out. Well, hey, I'm not going to stop you. But what I will tell you is that when you feel the need to create this false pressure, you might actually be short circuiting the very part of your brain and your thinking that you need in order to be able to like fully step into that wealthy as fuck space of life. Okay. When you think about freedom, which is one of the topics that we talk about inside Wealthy as Fuck, I'm relatively certain that like it's not on your brain to go, okay, freedom feels to me like having deadlines, like feeling intense pressure to get something done, like feeling under the gun all the time when it comes to like paying my bills and stuff. Um, like feeling like I'm constantly behind, right? I'm pretty sure that in just about anybody's version of freedom, that isn't in it. Pretty sure. So the Wealthy as Fuck program is all about dispensing knowledge, opening up transformation, creating perspective shifts for you without the pressure. Okay. It allows it to be easy and effortless. And that's actually what we want. That creates the juiciest change, it creates the most lasting change. When you allow it to be easy and effortless, it will actually like just make that feel so much better. Okay. The last point that I want to share about today is actually a transformation story. I want to talk about how taking the pressure off of myself to be better paved the way for massive awareness and shifts in my relationship to money. So, to quickly start off, I'm a Virgo. I feel like most of us Virgos appear to be kind of the same in that we're high performing, high achievers that are really good at like creating a ton of pressure on ourselves. Raise your hand if you're a Virgo and you feel the same. I know this is not exclusive to just the Virgos, and there's probably Virgos out there who are not that. I do have a double dose of like the um, stubborn, in it for the long haul kind of Astros, because my sun sign is Virgo, my rising sign is Capricorn, and those two signs are all about like long-term gains, in it for the long haul, creating really great things, but like taking our sweet ass time doing it so that they're fucking amazing and they stand the test of time. So, not unaware of what that looks like. But one of the things, a massive, massive shift that has been like cracking open, rolling forward, unfolding, pick whatever kind of like description you want. For me, in the last 12 months, actually, I'm going to shorten that. I'm going to say in probably the last 6 months, has been this removing the pressure off of myself to be better. As someone who is high performing, who is like really focused on high achieving, um, it's this constant striving. It's not striving for perfection. I gave up on that a long time ago. Okay. So, like, that's not what I'm after. But it's this constant striving to be better. And the subtext of that is that who I am today, what I'm doing now, is not good enough. All right. And that is very, very, what's the word I want to say? Like gross, maybe. It's not serving. It's a very quiet, insidious sort of undermining, I suppose, energy. When I'm constantly on the lookout for like, I need to be better, it says underneath it, what I am doing and who I am being is not good enough now. Now, when I started to shift that, one of the things that helped begin creating that shift for me was realizing what I've already talked about, that knowledge itself is powerful. Okay? Like literally, there's a reason that I had this as the first point on today's episode. Knowledge is power. Knowledge itself, having the knowledge itself is powerful. I know there are teachers out there that say something like, knowledge without action is useless or something. I don't actually know. The truth is, and I actually believe this, we actually can't take action. And I am not a person who likes the word can't. I virtually never use it. But we actually cannot take action on every single bit of knowledge that we get. We just can't. I mean, come on, think about it. Like every single piece of knowledge that you receive in a day, if you were to take action on every single bit of it, like if you just took one day and took action on only what you learned in one day, you'd probably be busy for months, right? And not necessarily moving in the direction that you want to. However, knowledge is power, all right? So having the knowledge itself is super powerful for us. Sometimes, and in most cases, it takes us a few hits and a few different angles of a kind of knowledge in order to start creating action. For example, if you have been thinking about beginning an investment account, you might have been thinking about this for years, right? In the years that you've been thinking about this, you've been accumulating knowledge. At the moment, it doesn't look like that knowledge has any power at all, because if you haven't started an investment account and you aren't starting to grow your wealth, thank you, brain, for helping me out. If you haven't started to grow your wealth, then it doesn't feel like it's powerful. And so there is a key about like taking that knowledge and putting it into action. But let's say you did the, I suppose, inverse of it, where every single piece of knowledge that you got, you put into action, okay? And let's say you took the typical steps where someone goes, okay, you need to start investing when you're 18. So you started doing that. And they're like, okay, you need to start investing $100 a month. So you started doing that. And you needed to invest in, I'm going to say Bitcoin because it's the one that's top of mind right now. And let's give my brain like the easiest possible thing. I realize Bitcoin wasn't around when you were 18. Okay. But like, let's just say Bitcoin. So you start investing in Bitcoin. And but you were in the early adopters. So you've been investing all this money. You've been doing all this. You've been doing it exactly how every single time you heard buy this, sell this, do this, whatever. Blah, blah. You may have created some wealth as a result of taking action immediately on those pieces of knowledge. Or you could have also just like somehow immersed yourself in some crazy amount of like debt slash leveraged money, trying to follow all these pieces of knowledge. Because knowledge itself, if you just take every single piece and put it into action, it's almost like diluting the power of the knowledge. I think that there's something to be said for like the goodness, the cumulative effect of bringing knowledge together. All right. The um there's 4 points here, so like bear with me as I move through them. My brain is doing its best for you today, okay? I'm here for you. So, taking the pressure off myself to be better, first of all, like realizing that knowledge itself, it's powerful. The second thing was recognizing that I am in a lifelong learning journey. Oh my gosh, if there is a message that's coming through very strong in my life right now, and it's fascinating because it comes through in like a whole bunch of different places, that message or one of those strong messages right now is that like this is not a one and done situation. Okay? This is not I've learned this now, we're done, we move on. This is not like once you clear this, you never ever have to worry about like I don't know, dealing with scarcity or whatever ever again in your life. It's the messaging coming through it that is that this is ongoing. It's a lifelong journey. And one of the reasons that that's actually comforting to me, and it sounds kind of funny. Well, it sounds funny to me. I'm going to guess it's going to sound funny to you too, but to me, it sounds kind of silly and a little ridiculous. I honestly, swear to goodness, have had the thought if I shift all of these beliefs now, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Which is silly, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's not about being logical. That's where my brain goes of like, well, but then what? Which is a very tricksy spot to be because what you could do, what is possible for us to do, if we have that thought and we like sink into it and we really like put some impetus behind it and some repetition behind it, is that then we create this energy of being stuck because we're like, well, I'm afraid that if I solve or shift these beliefs, which I show you how to do inside the Wealthy as Fuck program, then I won't have anything else to learn or do further in life. And of course, there's a part of us that's like, wouldn't that be amazing? But like the bigger part of us, the soul in us who came here to learn shit and do shit and experience shit is like, that's not what I'm here about. So our subconscious will then latch onto the fear of, oh God, okay, I'll just stay stuck because if I clear this and I have nothing else to learn, does that mean that my life ends? Like what happens, right? So recognizing that I'm in this lifelong journey also removed a shit ton of pressure, especially as it relates to like my specific relationship with money, because it allowed me to recognize that A, I don't have to get it perfect right now. B, it's not about being better. Okay, we already talked about that. It's not about being better, which like tells us like, hey, that means that what we are now is not good enough. It's about, well, hey, at this particular stage, this is what I'm learning. And in 6 months or 6 years, I'm going to be at a different stage. I'm going to be learning something different. It's a lifelong learning. All right. So, like, that took a ton of pressure off. The third point was really paying homage to all of the work that past Amy did to bring me to where I am today. Oh my goodness, if there is nothing else that you hear from me today but this this is an amazing, like super, super powerful point. We have a habit. I think the vast, I'm going to say 99.99999% of us have this habit where we assume that past us, like, kind of fucked it all up. We get annoyed because, well, past us booked our calendar full. Past us, has all of this debt. Past us ate the cookies instead of hitting the treadmill. Like we're constantly beating our past versions of ourselves up, right? Like Amy yesterday, why didn't she do whatever when she should have been doing this? When I let go of that and I started to actually shift my thinking and awareness to go, oh my gosh, okay. So I've been on this planet for 41 and almost a half years. And in 41 and a half years, past Amy has been doing a pretty fucking good job of like bringing me through to today. And even though today might look different than what I had some idealized version of what my life could look like when I was 41 and a half years old, there's also a huge part of my life today that looks very different than I could have possibly imagined when I was 20 or even when I was 30. Listen up, ladies. Are you tired of being told to be confident like a man? To be confident but not brash? To be compelling but not too talkative? To take up space but not too much? It is exhausting and impossible to follow the rules of the game that are supposed to help us show up more authentically, to feel more confident, and to be seen and valued in our work, because the rules of the game were never written for women. I am tired of this, and so I have got a game-changing workshop coming your way in early 2025. It is all about unlocking your authentic feminine confidence, the kind that naturally attracts promotions, raises, recognition, respect, without needing to practice gross male cocky energy or feeling like you're putting on a mask. Imagine feeling grounded and secure as you add your voice to the next group meeting. Imagine naturally attracting in recognition, respect, and opportunities. Imagine how good it will feel to own your voice, to share your power, and not spend the days afterwards worrying that you came across as too strong, too bossy, or too much. That's the power of true confidence, and I want to show you how to embody it. This workshop will be hosted live in early 2025, and the time is now to get on the waitlist. Don't miss out on early bird registration and insider discounts that will only be shared with folks who have put their name on the waitlist. So join the waitlist now by going to amyvanmeal.com/confidence. It is time to stand in your power, babe. It is time to shine in your career. Sign up to the waitlist today. Paying homage to all of the past versions of me and all that she did to bring me to today is really, it's kind of like honoring our ancestors, but in a more present and like direct way, because it's about honoring yourself. You have done amazing, amazing things. I talked about this in the not episode, email, other E word, the email I sent last week to my Insights Insiders, okay? Which, by the way, if you want to get on my email newsletter, go to amyvanmeal.com/insights. Yeah, I'll share more at the end. But anyway, I talked about how shared a story that I was in the middle of a workout. I was lying on the floor. I was like, it was a grinder of a workout. It was a really tough workout. And I'm doing some kind of ab exercise. And as I'm like doing whatever it is, a sit up or whatever it is, I catch a glimpse of my tummy. And we all love to think like our tummy should be flat and it should be this like amazing six pack and it should be blah, 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 blah. And instead, my stomach is like kind of sticking up like a little half balloon. And my immediate thought was one of disgust, of like, oh my God, like, that's like, why am I still so fat? And like, in fractions of a second, my brain twigged on, and I'm super glad for like the fact that I've been conditioning this habit to really catch my thoughts in the moment, twigged on this and said, hold on just a fucking damn minute. We are working our fucking ass off right now. I'm sweating like crazy. I'm working really fucking hard. My body is so amazing. She is so strong. She's so capable. I'm lying on the ground, like giving it all I've got. And I have the nerve to look at this beautiful creation that is allowing me to do this with disgust. Are you fucking kidding me? And that created a massive shift, like this ripple effect shift across so much that like we are conditioned, oh my God, as women to hate on our bodies, to constantly see all the ways that we're falling short, all the ways that we should be doing something different, looking some way better, right? And we are completely missing how amazing and powerful and truly honorable our bodies are. So it's this step of like paying homage to all the actions and even the inactions that past you has done to bring you to where you are today. And when you can do that and you start playing with that shift as it relates to your relationship with your money, that goes a long way to taking the pressure off. And finally, the last piece was remembering, and this is a constant reminding myself. This sort of dovetails a little into the second point that transformation moves through time. All right. Transformation moves through time. Each day is a step forward in the path, which means while we love to see all the Instagram stuff about things happening overnight, transformation itself, it happens in the moments of each day. It happens quietly, it happens steadily, it happens through the context of time. It's actually time itself, which allows us to see and witness the transformation. Okay? When you look at past you and you see where past you was and where present you is today, that all happens through the context of time. So while I don't believe we need to go like, this is not to say, hey, creating this massive transformation takes time. No, it can take however much or little time as you, I suppose, in a way, kind of want to give it. But I'm also going to just quickly add to that like, actually, no, that's correct. I'm going to give you this coloring in that. We give our attention and energy into what's important to us. If it's important to us to shift our relationship with money, if it's important to us to shift our relationship with our body, if it's important to us to release weight or have a healthy relationship or, I don't know, like have great sex, whatever, we give time to that. If you just decided, I'm going to be the most amazing spouse ever, but like you don't have a spouse and you're not actually doing anything to like create a reality where you might have a spouse, then like you're not really doing anything, right? So like giving time into that is how transformation takes time. I'm going to trust that that makes sense and that's going to land, because I don't know that I can clarify that any further today without sort of talking myself into a spiral. So I'm going to just like leave it there, leave it with you. I trust and honor that it is like percolating in your brain. And all of a sudden you're going to go, oh, I totally got that. Okay. So this transformation story of like taking the pressure off myself to be better and that creating these massive awarenesses, powerful shifts, and like great insights in my relationship with money. This has been something that's been occurring over the last few months. It is as a result of everything that I teach inside the Wealthy as Fuck program. So I'm going to close very quickly by just saying the following. One of the biggest challenges that I personally have when it comes to actually marketing this program, because of course that's what I have to do in order to like get it in your hands, right? One of the biggest challenges I have is like they're like, well, what's the transformation they're gonna get at the end of it? And I'm like, well, ooh, fuck if I know. I mean, like it could be a billion things. It depends on what everybody's coming in with and what they want out of it. For me, when I look at this, when I think about like what is the ultimate transformation that a person who opts to sign in and purchase the Wealthy as Fuck program, what is that ultimate transformation? It is increasing your knowledge, taking back your own power, and leveraging both to create this absolutely amazing life. And in order for those to come together, you need first clear knowledge, which is what the Wealthy as Fuck program is all about. You need second, the tools and systems and strategy in order to actually take that knowledge and like create shifts in your life, which is why it is not just a program that teaches you about the tools of money. It is also a program that teaches you about your subconscious mind and how to bring scientifically proven tools and techniques into your day to day life. You don't have to use them every day. Okay, that's not what this is about. In order to create true, actual, lasting shifts. Okay. And then finally, it's bringing all of these together in a container where shame is not welcome, pressure is not inherent. It is a space for you to learn, to grow, to shift, to release, to transform, and that you can do it at your own pleasure, and as often as you want to. Now, I want to add something in. I have one of the things that I've been really wanting to do is take the program and like put it in podcast format. I've been in the back end looking at all this. It's all possible within like the platform. But I had a bit of a snag in terms of like, well, how do I get the audios? Because currently the program is primarily videos. Um, so here's what's going to happen. I am probably next week. I was thinking it'd be this week, but like life had different plans for me this week. Probably next week, possibly like the week after. I'm actually going to be going back through the program and just audio recording all of the lessons, which means that those of you, there's a few of you who are already enrolled, and I fucking love it. But anybody who enrolls starting March 7th, I believe, is the actual like public enrollment date. Starting March 7th, you will be part of the newest cohort that is going to get access to the program in like a private podcast feed, as well as the videos. Now, the only, I suppose, like asterisk or add on that I want to add to that is, and this is where I've been sort of like back and forth with it about myself. I want to make sure that the content is like seamless across both. And also, I've really felt this calling inside to, um, how do I say this? Sort of open up a bit more as I'm doing the teaching. So, when it comes to the actual, like the private podcast feed, which is all part of the program, you're not paying extra to get that. It's just part of all of it. Okay. That private podcast feed, those audios themselves, because I'm re-recording all of it, you're actually going to get a little bit more. There's going to be a little more juice. It's going to be more like this format where I'm just kind of like sitting here chatting with you. I'm still be teaching. Of course, you're going to get all of the fucking good stuff that's inside of it. And also, you'll probably get a few extra stories. You'll get some updated learnings or awarenesses that have cracked open since the last time that I recorded the program, which was about a year ago. So that's super juicy. It's coming out soon. Now, I want to just like end today's podcast with like a couple of quick points. First of all, if you are not already and you are even a little bit curious about joining the Wealthy as Fuck program, I'm going to highly encourage you to get your little peach onto the wait list. People who are on the wait list, I'm coming. I don't know why my brain just like shut down. Here we are. We're still here. I'm still with you. I promise. Okay. People who are on the wait list are going to get access 48 hours early to purchase the Wealthy as Fuck program. Okay. This particular launch it's a shorty. It's 4 days. So March 7th to 10th is when, and there's only going to be two. There's only two windows of opportunity this entire calendar year for you to get inside this program. All right. I also mentioned last time that the price this round is going to is the last time that this price is going to be offered. Those of you on the wait list will receive an exclusive savings. Okay, I'm still feeling this out, still like kind of temperature checking in with the offer itself. Where does the offer want to land? It could equal up to $333. All right, so like it's worth it. So those of you who are on the wait list, and this is only for waitlist people, will get early exclusive access and an exclusive savings. I just haven't determined exactly what that's going to be. So to get on the wait list, go to amyvanmeel.com/money. The link is, of course, in the show notes. When you join the wait list, it will also add you into my Insights newsletter. This is the insider's email that I send roughly every 2 weeks with what is present and asking to be shared. So I think I mentioned earlier, but I'm going to say it again. This week I shared about rest and recovery. Really powerful emails, some really, really great insights inside of there. I haven't decided yet. I might share a quick little synopsis on the socials for you this week. So be sure that you're following me on the gram and the TikToks. I realize the TikTok is like fucking this like hot potato right now, but like for now I'm still sharing on there. Like we'll see what happens. But absolutely be following me on the gram if you aren't already. The links to both of my accounts are in the show notes, but it's just it's at Amy Van Meel. So you can like make sure you're following there. So when you get on the wait list, you'll also get on the Insiders, which is super juicy. Okay. I only send fun emails. I don't inundate you with sales emails. I just want to make sure that like if I'm in your inbox, I'm bringing you some really powerful shit. So that's what I do. All right, my loves. I have run flat out of energy. I'm going to press stop on the recording and I'm going to like have myself a big glass of water and very likely have like a bit of a snooze or something because like this took my jam. I trust that this episode was really juicy for you. I would love to hear from you if you like had some really great insights or some new awarenesses. Share them with me on the socials. Just send me a DM or comment on the most recent post. And if this was a good episode, then I would love so much if you would share this out. Like share the episode with a friend. And like, hey, if you have a friend who also is wanting to create this wealthy as fuck lifestyle, this would be a great episode to share with them and like get them say, hey, this program opens up in a couple of weeks. Want to go in it together? Because it could be soups fun. All right. Okay, my loves, with that, I'm out of here. Have an amazing week ahead. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following at Amy Van Meel or visit my website at amyvanmeel.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.